Now, protesters in Iran have been marking a year since the death of Mahsa Amini. The 22-year-old student died in police custody after being detained by Iran's morality police for allegedly not wearing her headscarf correctly. Well, these are some of the latest pictures from demonstrations across the country. Well, protesters, you can hear there chanting death to Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, who's been in office since 1989. One is even seen being arrested. Demonstrations which the country's authorities were hoping to prevent reignited on the anniversary of Mahsa Amini's death. Well, even as it approached yesterday, you'll recall her father was detained outside his home yesterday. The family said they were planning to gather at her grave for a traditional service of commemoration. Fires have also broken out as hundreds of people continue to take to the streets in Iran. There are also reports of heavy security presence in downtown Tehran. Let's talk to our reporter Sahar Zand, who's in the studio with me. So this is anniversary day +1, if you like. What is going on today?
A lot has been going on. I've been coming here speaking about the events. There has been protests across the country, but they're not as big as many, especially on the outside, we're expecting. That's because of the very heavy security forces being around on standby, trying to prevent exactly that. But a lot of the protesters I speak to have told me that it would be a mistake to put all their power in this weekend, that this is the start of the second phase of what they call a revolution. They've been preparing for months for the following months to come.
And what does this second phase look like, or how will it play out?
What people fought for initially hasn't changed. In fact, people have become angrier because of the brutal and bloody crackdown that left over 500 people killed, around 70 of them children, thousands imprisoned, and countless people with life-changing injuries. And people in Iran want change. They want this regime gone, they tell me. They have given up on the hope of any reform. And you mentioned fires earlier. There was a fire, according to the state media in Iran, there was a fire in the women's ward of a prison in Tehran, and some activists have linked it to the protest, and allegedly some of the security forces went in, and the women in the ward that set the fire were met with beatings and pellet bullets. There is something else that has been going on around the world. Even though protests haven't managed to be as big as many were hoping inside of Iran, Iranians and non-Iranians around the world have actually taken onto the streets in support of the movement inside of Iran, demanding their governments to put pressure on the government of the Islamic Republic so that they can stop the oppression and the suppression of this movement and their people. And President Biden put it really nicely. He said, the story of Mahsa Amini didn't end with a brutal death, but it started a historic movement that has inspired people around the world and impacted the Islamic Republic.
Yeah, clearly these protesters determined not to be silenced, aren't they? Thank you a lot. We'll talk to you later.